if you want to always be right, always talk about, hey, I got some hate comments on one of my videos where I was talking when I was eating some snack. But anyways, I those hate comments, they got automatically hit by YouTube, so no one got to see them except myself. But I saw one of them was actually an excellent example that I can use to give you some tips on how to be in a conversation or even an argument to be more persuasive when being less like an asshole. So let's first take a look at the comment. The comment is like this. Man, nature hasn't been kind to you. You are filming yourself while eating. Man, you are so disgusting. This is from Michael Diet Rich A52. Thank you, Michael, for the comment and for this perfect example. So I want to break this example into three parts. The first part, man, nature hasn't been kind to you. The second part, you are filming yourself while eating. The last part, man, you are so disgusting. To explain to you how you can be in an argument and be almost always right. Okay, we'll go backwards. We'll go from the last part of this comment where it says, man, you are so disgusting. Now, this part, this is where I'll give you tip number one. Man, you are so disgusting. You are talking about someone else. You are talking about something that is subjective, right? Whether something is disgusting or not, this is arguable, right? We all have our opinions. So you may be right, but some other people can say that you're wrong. So principle number one, if you want to always be right, be ready to talk about how you feel, to talk about something about yourself, because no one can say that you are wrong when you are talking about yourself. So what does it mean for this example? Man, you are so disgusting. Instead of talking about me in the video, who was filming while eating, instead of talking about me, Michael could have said that, man, I am so disgusted, right? So if Michael Diet Rich A52 say, I am so disgusted, there is no way I can say that they are wrong, right? I can't deny your feeling. How you feel is how you feel. I can't deny that you are disgusted. So that's principle number one from the last part of this comment, that remember, if you want to always be right, always talk about how you feel. No one can say that you're wrong. Okay, that's the last part, and let's move to the middle part of this comment. You are filming yourself while eating. So this part is actually a great example of articulating what you observe, right? And there's nothing wrong here. This is actually a very neutral comment here. There's no positive, there's no negative. Here, Michael Diet Rich A52 is basically articulating what they observe, right? You are filming yourself while eating. This is the tip number two that I would give you. Try to articulate what you observe, and there is no right or wrong. You can always say that what I am seeing is that you are filming yourself while eating. And no one can deny that, especially when this is something everyone can observe. Just like the example here, you are filming yourself while eating. I wouldn't deny that because that's what I did, right? And no one else would deny it because that's what it's in the video. So that's an excellent part. That's a very neutral part in this comment. You're doing great, Michael Diet Rich A52. This part, keep it. This is the way to articulate or to express something and also not be wrong. No one can say that you're wrong when you are articulating what you observe, right? So that's tip number two I want to give you. If there's nothing that you feel inside you, you would also, you can also articulate what that you observe that hopefully is obvious enough that everyone would also observe, right? Then you would not be wrong. That's the middle part. Now let's move to the front part, where the comment says, man, nature hasn't been kind to you. So here, let's notice what this part is talking about. It's talking about me and the nature. So here, Michael Dietrich A52 was assuming that nature hasn't been kind to me, right? And they were trying to describe something that is not relevant, is irrelevant to themselves. So it's nature and me, it's nature versus me. And it has nothing to do with Michael Dietrich A52, right? So this is risky, right? The tip here for you is that this is always risky when you are talking about something that is not how you feel, something that is not what you observe, right? This is your assumption or your speculation. This is very risky. So instead, how to reduce the risk, how to be more accurate, how to be more correct here, you can come back to talk about how does this assumption or this observation make you feel, right? So in this case, Michael was saying nature hasn't been kind to me. Well, let's set aside whether this is actually true or not, because it's actually very personal. Do I feel that nature has been kind to me or not is my personal feeling. Michael doesn't really get a say here, but let's set aside that. What Michael could have said is that I sense that nature hasn't been kind to you, and that makes me feel, you fill in the blank. Well, you could feel sad, you could feel happy, you could feel anything that you feel. And now let's come back to the principle number one that I told you. When you come to talk about your feeling, no one can say that you are wrong, right? So here you can say, oh, nature hasn't been kind to you. That makes me feel sad. Or you can say nature hasn't been kind to you and that makes me feel happy. Now here is where the tip that I will give you, how to not sound like an asshole, is to say the more reasonable feelings. So when you observe that someone, nature hasn't been treating someone very well, not being an asshole, you would want to say, I feel sorry. I feel sad. Right? If you say happy, then I guess, my guess is that people would think that you're an asshole. But I don't know. I don't know how other people would think. So here are the 3 tips that I want to give you. The first thing, articulate your feelings. You would never be wrong when articulating your feelings. No one can deny, right? The second is that articulate what you observe. Articulate what you observe, and hopefully most of the people would also observe, and that there is less chance that there is an argument, and you can be right most of the time there too. And the third, when you're articulating something that is almost irrelevant to you, that is external to you, try to associate it to you by saying how that observation make you feel. And now again, this come back to principle number 1, that you would never be wrong when talking about your own feeling, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you through this example. And thank you, Michael Dietrich A52, for this perfect example. And I hope you get something out of this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, or subscribe. That's it for today. I'll see you in next video. Bye bye.